Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to show you how I made a little wooden ghost. I've been on Pinterest recently. I am obsessed with Pinterest. Anybody else? I've been pinning away on my boards, with all my Halloween decor, cute stuff like that. Things that I would love to have in my home, but can't get hold of because obviously live in the UK. We don't really do the whole autumn decor, like cute, like just Halloween as much as like everybody else does for some reason. By everybody else, I basically mean America, because I just love watching American vlogs and that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyway, besides the point, I found this picture on there which had like this sign and it had this ghost on, and I was like, I've just got to have that in my life. So with a little bit of Googling, couldn't really find it. So I thought, I know, I'm gonna make my own in kind of the way I know how. So yeah, I made a solid like wood ghost, and here it is. I love this more than I can ever express. Honestly, I feel like this is cute and spooky and primitive and vintagey, as well as being like really nice and rustic all at the same time. It's everything that I love. It's so simple, it's so effective, and I just look at it, just me and my ghost hanging out here today. So I was going to be posting this tomorrow because I thought it looked a bit of a mess today, but no time like the present. I thought I'd bring it to you today, and then we could fit even more videos in this week. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I made this ghost and meet you back here after the tutorial.
So the piece of wood that I actually made this ghost out of was actually a part of a scaffolding board. I had this out in my outhouse just from where I used this actually to build a windowsill in my living room. I've had this offcut piece that I've been meaning to turn into a shelf for the longest of times, but because it was an angle, I had to kind of like cut it straight. So I thought before doing that, I'm actually just going to make a ghost out of it. So I just drew out a rough outline using a fluffy gingerbread kind of Christmas pen, and I just then went to town with my jigsaw, just cutting that shape out. I made sure to make loads of relief cuts where the curves were and everything like that, just so it was a little bit simpler, removing as much wood as I could from, the little angles and stuff before going ahead and doing them. Now, I did actually wear socks and sandals whilst doing this, and I do not recommend that kind of ever wearing socks and sandals, to be honest, but do not do it when you're using a power tool. You need to keep those toes covered and not wear atrocious footwear like I am here. I kind of didn't count on anyone seeing it, and then when watching this back I thought, my cover is kind of blown. But yeah, so moving on, once I had the shape fully cut out, I then used this little rotary tool. I know this has a name and it always kind of goes from my mind, but yeah, I just used a little sanding bit on it. I actually got the tool from Lidl, and I just went to town with that, making it all sanded back, all the edges kind of nice and smooth and like rounded, so there's no sharp bits left. I also buffed out all the edges to get rid of any burn marks that I made from my horrendous sawing skills, and I just overall made the whole thing a lot smoother, a lot nicer and stuff like that. I do like to kind of go to town with this little tool, so it almost makes the piece look like it's been carved from wood rather than like sawn. So I find doing like little jerking motions with the sandpaper tool really helps with that, just to make it look more carved. If you can see what I mean, like on the edges and stuff, I don't keep them as smooth as I probably could get them. I like to make sure that they're a little bit, rustic around the edges. So once I had the piece and I was fully happy with it, sanded back and the shape, and it stood up all right, I then went ahead and painted it with a white chalk paint. The white chalk paint I usually use is the Rust-Oleum furniture paint in the colour chalky white. There are a few variations, a few different whites, but I find this one here to be the colour that I like. Once the white paint had then fully dried, I went in with a high kind of grit sandpaper, really soft and smoothing down kind of sandpaper, like not a really coarse one is what I'm trying to say, a fine grit sandpaper, haha, I should say that. So yeah, I used that all over just to bring some of the natural wood tones back through around the edges to make it a little bit more rustic, a little bit more primitive, you know how it is. I don't like my pieces to look brand new. I like them to look like they've been dug out of the Halloween box and they've been in your family for years type thing. So to paint the face on, I used a dotting tool. This dotting tool is actually from Home Bargains in the like beauty section where you get like all the nail tools and stuff. I popped 2 little eyes on. I did make sure they were a little bit bigger than what the dotting tool actually made because I thought they looked a little bit lost, so I made them a little bit bigger, just using some black acrylic paint. I then wanted some blush because the piece that I seen on Pinterest had some blush. I like to put blush on pretty much all of my DIYs I do on this channel and even my other channel. You would have seen me do this if you know me from that one. And in order to get the best kind of like primitive, not really in your face, like a really soft blush, is to use chalk pastels. So I just use a red and a white. I always put the white down first and then buff the red in to make it as pink as I want, using a Real Techniques makeup brush. I know some people actually use blush, but I find chalk pastels last a lot longer and yeah, just have control over the colour. So once I had that all done, I just took some twine, wrapped it around and secured it into place with hot glue. I then added a little kraft cardboard tag to it, double kind of bow knotted the rest of the twine that was left and stuck the remaining bits down so that they were pointing downwards and they were not going anywhere. I then used a white Posca paint pen and wrote out the word ghost on the little tag, just a really simple kind of Ray Down inspired like text, and I just went over that until it was a nice opaque white. I decided to just stop there and I really like how the pieces come out. I am so obsessed with it. I think it looks so adorable here on my sideboard. The trick or treat sign is from a previous DIY, so I'll make sure to leave that down in the description down below because I know I will get some questions. But yeah, really happy with how it's turned out and this little tag. Oh, so cute.
So this is how the ghost turned out. There's obviously loads of like distressing all around the kind of detail bits where I used what is that called again? That little tool thingy that I had the little sander bit on. I don't know, I always forget what it's called. Yeah, obviously got all that distressing. I love that. I've like brushed the blush on using some chalk pastels, so that's kind of giving it a more softer look rather than the paint. Love the little tag on there with the single ply twine. Don't know why, I'm just loving really thin twine at the moment. So I've actually got like 4 bits on there and it doesn't even look as thick as like a normal piece of twine that I'd use. But yeah, I love it. I just cannot get over it. I know it's so simple and I know some people are definitely going to look at it thinking, what on earth is that? But I love this, and this is going to be another one of those pieces that's just going to stay with me forever. It just brings me so much joy. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, watching me make this. If you do make one yourself and are a bit crazy and feel like you need one of these in your life, do make sure to tag me on Instagram because I am, you know, reposting on stories, everything like that. I've got a little highlights tab of you guys DIYs when you try mine out. So yeah, I'd love to pop you on there and love to see more of these in other people's homes as well because just look at them. Ain't that adorable? So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and maybe click that subscribe button if you're not already, because me and Ghosty here would love to have you for future videos, and I will see you very soon for another one. Bye!